Just months after the most high-profile F1 departure in a decade, a managerial bombshell is about to rip through the paddock, threatening to erase the short-lived stability the sport has achieved. This is not a rumor. We have advanced confirmation that an exiled Formula One leader isn't just negotiating a return. They are initiating a deal so vast and expensive, it threatens to destabilize entire operations, and you won't believe which team principal is facing the immediate, overwhelming threat of dismissal. This story is unfolding at lightning speed, catching the entire grid off guard just as the focus should be laser-sharp on track performance. All 11 Formula One teams are currently putting the final touches on their brand-new challengers, preparing for the most critical phase of the off-season, the secret, behind-closed-doors testing in Barcelona scheduled for the end of January. This testing phase usually determines the narrative for the first half of the season, but now, a looming corporate takeover is overshadowing engineering excellence. The figure attached to this proposed return is staggering, an astronomical £600 million. This isn't a simple consultancy gig or a minority share purchase. This money buys controlling interest, potentially a complete team acquisition, and the resulting power shift would instantly reposition the competitive landscape. The timing is designed to maximize chaos. Why would this figure reemerge now, right before the test laps begin? Because management weakness is at its peak. Team principals, particularly those in the pressure cooker of high-stakes environments, are right now nervously checking the fine print in their contracts. We know one specific major F1 operation has a leader whose job is already hanging by the thinnest thread. The vacuum is created by instability, and this figure is moving to fill it instantly, violently, and decisively. If you want to stay on top of everything happening in F1, subscribe to the channel. Turn on notifications so you don't miss any breaking updates on this unfolding corporate war. The former Red Bull Racing principal, Christian Horner, is in advanced negotiations to make a staggering £600 million Formula One return, less than 6 months after being dismissed by the dominant energy drink team. The speed of this potential comeback is unprecedented and speaks volumes about the level of preparation and funding Horner has managed to secure in his short time away from the sport. Let's be clear, £600 million is generational wealth, representing one of the largest potential investments ever seen for a single F1 team purchase. The valuation of the smaller teams on the grid has skyrocketed recently, but this sum suggests Horner is not targeting a partnership, he is targeting immediate, total control. This move is less about passion for the sport and more about a calculated, powerful attempt to regain influence and managerial supremacy on the global stage. But what the internal documents revealed about the target environment makes this news so devastating for the existing management structures. The success, or failure, of the new cars being run in Barcelona will be the ultimate determinant of job security across the paddock. The input confirms that one major F1 figure, Ferrari's Fred Vasseur, is already operating under intense internal pressure after what is described as a dismal 2025 campaign. The timing is far from coincidental. Horner has always been a strategic operator, known for identifying and exploiting weakness. If Vasseur's 2026 car underperforms in the critical Barcelona test, the knife could be ready to fall. A £600 million war chest suddenly appearing in the paddock acts as a massive destabilizing element right at the moment the struggling teams can least afford it. Imagine being Vasseur, trying to focus his team on extracting milliseconds in Spain, only to have persistent whispers of a legendary, cutthroat former team principal circling the executive boxes with hundreds of millions ready to deploy. The implications for the Maranello operation are immediate, even if Horner isn't directly buying the Italian giant. The threat level to Vasseur increases exponentially. If Horner is seeking ownership, he must find a seller. The presence of a £600 million bidder immediately raises the bar for performance and accountability across all team owners and managers. If Vasseur fails to deliver results immediately, the owners of the Italian team will see a concrete, successful replacement, recently available and willing to spend massively to compete. This corporate maneuvering creates a climate of shocking uncertainty for every midfield and struggling team. £600 million buys absolute power at any of the smaller organizations. Perhaps 2/3 of the grid could be bought outright for that sum. If Horner targets a team currently receiving engines from the Italian powerhouse, the rivalry would instantly be turbocharged, creating a direct competitive proxy war managed by the architect of the dominance era. Think about the sheer velocity of this comeback. Horner has been gone for less than half a year. His return so quickly and with such substantial financial backing demonstrates two things. First, his appetite for F1 dominance remains ravenous, and second, that powerful financial backers clearly believe in his ability to deliver championship success, regardless of the circumstances of his departure from his previous role. But what the negotiation status means for the power structure is truly massive. The negotiation is described as advanced. This suggests preliminary due diligence is complete and the financial structures are largely in place. The next few weeks, coinciding exactly with the pre-season build-up, will be dominated by corporate lawyers and high-stakes finance meetings, not pure racing focus. The crucial question remains, which team is the target? While the input doesn't explicitly name the team, the context points to an operation where management is weak and a significant injection of capital and high-level leadership could yield immediate results. A £600 million investment could fund radical infrastructure overhaul, drawing in talent currently locked down by the top 3 squads. This immediate threat level puts the entire grid on edge. Every owner, from the smallest independent team to the largest manufacturer operation, is now acutely aware that a successful bidder with deep pockets has entered the market looking to acquire success instantly. Consider the ripple effect on driver contracts. If Horner takes control of a team, the driver lineup would likely be his first target for ruthless assessment and potential overhaul. His history shows he demands performance and absolute loyalty. Any driver currently feeling secure in their seat at a struggling team must now realize that the ground beneath them is shifting. A manager like Horner does not spend £600 million to inherit a driver lineup he didn't select. This could precipitate an insane silly season months before we even see the first race. The potential return of Horner is also an enormous psychological chess move against his former employer. Having spent 2 decades building one team into a global powerhouse, his knowledge of their weaknesses, their processes, and their future planning is unparalleled. Imagine the strategic intelligence he carries walking straight into a rival operation. This knowledge base alone is arguably worth tens of millions of pounds, providing an instantaneous competitive advantage that no new team owner could. Furthermore, this controversial figure's potential return forces the sport's regulatory bodies to confront the issue of rapid ownership change and the implications of powerful figures re-entering the sport so quickly after high-profile exits. F1 requires stability, but this potential deal screams disruption. If the negotiations finalize before the Barcelona test, the narrative instantly shifts from aerodynamic efficiency to corporate upheaval. The pressure on the Italian team principal, Fred Vasseur, is the most exposed element of this situation. Having already endured a dismal 2025 campaign, a result that must have frayed nerves high up in the company structure, he desperately needs the 2026 car to be a genuine step forward. If the data coming out of Barcelona is poor, the corporate vultures will begin circling immediately. Horner's negotiations provide the Italian team's owners with a ready-made, high-profile, and undeniably successful alternative, backed by monumental funding, making Vasseur's position almost untenable if performance lags. In essence, the £600 million advance negotiation is not just a business deal, it is a declaration of war. It signals that an incredibly successful, exiled figure is ready to buy his way back into the pinnacle of motorsport and immediately challenge the hierarchy he helped create. It sets up an astonishing showdown for the 2026 season, potentially pitting the architect against his own creation, armed with a war chest capable of reshaping the grid. Every team principal, every CEO, and every investor involved in Formula One is watching this story with bated breath. The implications of this return go far beyond a single team. They affect driver markets, engineering stability, and the overall governance structure of the sport. Can anyone stop this powerful comeback? The speed and scale of this negotiation confirm that Christian Horner is not only back in the game but aiming for immediate, total domination. The next few weeks, as teams nervously wait for the Barcelona test results, will reveal who is selling and who will be the first managerial victim of F1's new £600 million power player.